He's listening to my BBC broadcast, as he always does, and he follows my reports, and he's reading our
We all do.
And he was listening in the car, and he just got so steamed, he went right to the White House. I kid you not, went to the Oval Office and said, I have to speak to the president. And he said, listen, your cronies are sucking up the billions of dollars that we have voted on for debt relief for Africa. And George gave him, little George gave him that, like, I was, missing from school that day. I don't know what you're talking about. And so then he laid it out. He said, look, here's what happens. We have now voted billions of dollars for relief for Africa, specifically to buy AIDS medicine. Your guys are sucking up about half of it. Your guys, meaning your big donors, have figured out a way to tap in. You didn't tell us that. You can say you don't know. Now you know. What are you going to do about it? Because you can stop it. You have to understand, Conyers is an attorney.
Yeah.
Okay? And before he was chairman of a committee, and he, by the way, we met the other night when I was passing him the material on Tim Griffin. He said, this is even bigger than the prosecutor case, because this is stealing money from kids who are dying, literally taking the AIDS money from Africa, and Bush can do something about it. He knows it. Now he knows it. He could stop it right this minute with a stroke of a pen. He could say, that money, any U.S. court will back down. That money is not meant for my donors. It is meant as a donation of the American people to people who are suffering in Africa. These guys have figured out how to tap in enough of that. They can say absolutely no, it must stop. He hasn't done it. Conyers wants to know why. And he says if he doesn't, his next hearings, after the prosecutor gate thing is done, which may never be done, but when that's done, he said, vultures are the next thing unless the president does the right thing.
Exactly who this man Sheehan is.
Well, there's a couple guys. There's a guy Sheehan, and then the other vulture is a guy named Paul Singer. Okay, these guys. Okay, Singer is one of the richest men in New York. He's worth several billion. 100% of his big money has all come from his vulture operations. He is the big money behind Rudy Giuliani. And by the way, he owned all the asbestos companies, his operations, and he's the one assigned by Giuliani to, quote, take care of the 9/11 widows whose husbands, the first responders whose husbands have died from asbestos poisoning, etc.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah. And you drown in your own lungs, and anyway, so he's gone on from the drowning in your own lungs business into stealing, literally sucking up the AIDS money, the AIDS medicine money for Africa. Now, how they do it, by the way, not all of it is exactly kosher, because the other thing that John Conyers brought up, he says, we have a law in the United States, Mr. President, when we had a Justice Department, where the Justice Department is supposed to bust people who bribe foreign leaders. What do you think, that they can suck up this money without hanky-panky?